Welcome. Have you ever found yourself in a heated argument, overwhelmed by emotions running high? It's a common experience. Today, we're diving into 5 powerful strategies to help you stay composed during disagreements and master your emotional responses when tensions escalate. Arguments can feel overwhelming, piling up against you and dragging you into emotional chaos. Remember, staying calm isn't a random occurrence. It's a deliberate choice you can make. We'll explore practical techniques inspired by Stoicism. These techniques don't focus on avoiding conflicts or suppressing emotions, but rather on navigating challenging situations with a steady mind and a resilient heart. Forget about overly complicated hacks or intense meditation sessions. Simple, subtle shifts in your approach can dramatically transform how you handle conflicts. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on insights that will enhance your emotional mastery. Ready to take control of your reactions? Let's begin. Recognize that calmness is a choice. During arguments, it's easy to get swept up in the chaos. Your heart pounds, your palms sweat, and words spill out uncontrollably. It feels like your emotions are in control. However, achieving calm is a conscious decision. Think of emotions during an argument as ocean waves in a storm, rising and crashing tumultuously. Yet, as Stoicism teaches, beneath those turbulent waves lies a still, calm depth. External circumstances may stir the waters, but we have the ability to anchor ourselves. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realizing this is empowering. True strength emerges when you understand you don't have to battle every wave. You can simply let them pass. This principle is simple yet profound. When conflict arises, our natural fight-or-flight response kicks in, releasing adrenaline that narrows our focus. A reaction designed for physical threats, not verbal disagreements. By pausing, even briefly, you can break this cycle. To reclaim your calm, try this. When tension builds, pause and take a deep breath. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, then exhale for 4. This simple act signals to your brain that you're safe, helping you regain control. Then, ask yourself, what truly matters right now? This shift in focus can help you prioritize staying grounded over winning the argument. Another effective strategy is adopting an external perspective. Visualize the argument as if you were an observer. This detached viewpoint helps you pinpoint the root causes of the conflict and recognize how impulsive reactions can worsen the situation. Viewing the argument from this perspective empowers you to respond thoughtfully rather than react emotionally. Staying calm in an argument requires giving yourself the time and space to let the emotional storm pass. With practice, you'll begin to see arguments as opportunities to build emotional resilience rather than as threats. True mastery starts when you accept that while you can't control the waves, you can learn to ride them. Now, consider the power of listening rather than speaking. Arguments often escalate into shouting matches where both sides aim to dominate the conversation. But what if the key to staying calm lies in listening more and speaking less? Arguments frequently intensify because both parties focus more on their next rebuttal than on understanding the other's perspective. Choosing intentional silence isn't a sign of weakness, it's a strategic move. When emotions peak, the urge to interrupt or defend yourself can feel overwhelming. However, interruptions tend to fuel the fire, leaving the other person feeling ignored and frustrated. On the other hand, listening can de-escalate tensions, reduce anger, and reveal the underlying issues at play. Think of an argument as a dance. It's impossible to move gracefully if you're too focused on your next step instead of harmonizing with your partner. Listening allows you to connect with the emotions and needs underlying the other person's words. To enhance your listening skills, practice reflective listening. This means paraphrasing or summarizing the other person's words to show understanding, not mimicry. For example, if someone says they feel overlooked in decisions, resist the urge to defend yourself immediately. Instead, respond with, "It sounds like you feel I don't value your input. Is that correct?" This approach can shift the conversation's tone, signaling genuine interest and often softening the other person's attitude. Additionally, be mindful of your body language during arguments. Non-verbal cues, such as crossed arms, a raised voice, or an eye roll, can convey hostility or disinterest. In contrast, open body language, like uncrossed arms, maintaining soft eye contact, and nodding occasionally, signals engagement and receptiveness. These non-verbal signals reassure the other person that it's safe to express their thoughts, which can significantly reduce defensive reactions. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of controlling impulses. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "Most of what we say and do is not essential. In the heat of an argument, ask yourself, is this truly necessary?" Often the impulse to speak comes from ego, a need to assert your correctness or protect your pride. However, by prioritizing listening, you demonstrate greater strength. Exercising restraint is a true display of power. The next time you find yourself in a heated exchange, pause and commit to listening more than speaking. Ask yourself, what is this person really trying to communicate? What emotions underlie their words? The answers might surprise you. Listening doesn't just calm the argument, it shifts the focus from conflict to connection. In a world where everyone seeks to be understood, strive first to understand. True calmness doesn't stem from winning arguments or dominating discussions, but from mastering yourself so thoroughly that even silence becomes a powerful ally. Start seeing arguments as collaborative efforts instead of battles. Arguments often feel like clashes of egos, where one person emerges victorious while the other feels defeated, especially when emotions run high. But what if arguments were seen as opportunities for teamwork and collaborative problem-solving rather than battlegrounds? Many arguments spiral out of control due to a me versus you mentality, where each party feels attacked and compelled to defend their position. But consider this, if the ultimate goal is to resolve an issue, does it matter who is right? Arguments should focus on understanding, not winning. Marcus Aurelius's words, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself," remind us that true strength lies in bridging differences rather than widening gaps. Imagine an argument as a boat in turbulent waters. If you and the other person paddle in opposite directions, you'll spin in circles. But if you align your efforts toward mutual understanding and solutions, you'll move forward together. The storm may rage around you, but your boat remains steady when you work in unison. This shift not only calms the argument, but also transforms it into an opportunity for connection. To start viewing arguments as collaborative efforts, begin by changing your language. Words are powerful. During conflicts, they can either escalate or diffuse tensions. Avoid accusatory phrases like, "You always do this," or "You never listen," which provoke defensiveness. Instead, try statements like, "How can we solve this together?" or "What can we both do to improve the situation?" This subtle shift from you to we fosters a spirit of partnership rather than blame. Instead of setting out to attack, Invite the other person to join you in resolving the issue. Another approach is to find common ground, even in disagreement. For example, if you're debating household chores, focus on shared values like maintaining a clean home, fairness, and teamwork, rather than dwelling on what the other person isn't doing. Once you establish common ground, you can collaboratively build solutions instead of tearing each other down. It's also vital to address issues rather than attack the person. Criticizing someone's character, saying things like, "You're so lazy," or "You're always selfish," turns the discussion into a personal attack and guarantees defensiveness. Instead, focus on the behavior or problem. "I feel overwhelmed when chores pile up. Can we find a way to share them more equally?" This separates the person from the issue, enabling cooperation. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control. While you may not influence someone else's reaction, you can choose how you engage in the conversation. By prioritizing collaboration over competition, you take the first step toward diffusing conflict. You're no longer trying to win. You're seeking a solution that benefits both sides. This approach not only calms the argument, but also builds trust and strengthens relationships. During your next disagreement, ask yourself, am I trying to understand this person, or am I trying to prove them wrong? If it's the latter, take a moment to reflect. Remember, arguments aren't about conquering the other person. They're about finding a path forward together. Collaboration doesn't mean abandoning your values or staying silent about disagreements. It means bringing empathy and mutual respect to the dialogue. When you view an argument as a collaborative process, it becomes a constructive opportunity for growth rather than a source of stress. You're no longer adversaries in a battle, you're partners navigating toward a shared goal. In this shift, you'll discover peace, clarity, and solutions that respect both perspectives. Mastering your body is essential to mastering your mind. The physical signs of stress, like a tensed jaw, raised shoulders, or shallow breathing, often appear before you're fully aware of your emotional state. During an argument, your body and mind are interconnected. If your body is tense, your mind mirrors that tension, heightening anger or defensiveness. However, calming your body can also soothe your mind. Think of your body as the control center for your emotions. In arguments, it's like driving through a storm. Gripping the steering wheel tightly and speeding up makes the journey more dangerous. But relaxing your grip and slowing down makes it manageable. Stoicism emphasizes controlling external reactions to maintain inner peace. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Recognizing this gives you access to a deep well of strength. Start with your breath. It's the simplest and most effective way to stabilize your body. When tension rises during an argument, try this breathing exercise. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 counts. Repeat this 3 or 4 times. This breathing technique activates your parasympathetic nervous system, signaling safety to your body and easing anger or anxiety. Next, focus on releasing physical tension. Arguments often lead to unconscious bracing for confrontation. Shoulders hunch, fists clench, muscles tighten. Take a moment to check your body for these signs and consciously relax them. Drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, and open your hands. These small adjustments might seem minor, but they send a powerful message to your brain that there's no immediate threat. Your posture also plays a significant role in the dynamics of an argument. Defensive stances like crossed arms or leaning forward aggressively can escalate tensions. Instead, adopt an open, non-threatening posture. Keep your arms relaxed by your sides or rest them on a table and maintain a straight yet approachable stance. This not only calms your mind, but also signals openness to the other person, which can help diffuse their defensiveness. Pay attention to your tone of voice, which, though not physical posture, carries emotional weight. A sharp, elevated tone can provoke hostility, while a calm, measured tone fosters a more peaceful exchange. If you notice your voice rising, deliberately lower it and slow your speech. This intentional softening often prompts the other person to reflect your tranquility. These physical adjustments, deep breathing, tension release, open posture, and a softened tone, are practical steps with a significant impact. They help you exit the fight-or-flight state that dominates arguments. When your body is relaxed, your mind can think clearly, listen attentively, and respond thoughtfully. It's also beneficial to practice these techniques daily, not just during conflicts. At the end of each day, reflect on how your body responded to stress and practice relaxation techniques. Notice your breathing during stressful moments, whether at work or home. These practices create a foundation of calm you can rely on during arguments. Stoicism teaches that true strength comes from self-control. By managing your physical state, you create the conditions for emotional clarity. With a calm mind, you can approach arguments with grace and composure, demonstrating mastery over yourself. Reflect on the concept of letting go of the need to win. Winning an argument might feel satisfying in the moment, but striving to win at all costs, especially amid high emotions, can have lasting consequences. It often sacrifices peace, understanding, and connection. Most disputes aren't truly about surface-level disagreements, but are driven by ego, the desire to defend oneself, assert worth, or avoid being wrong. Consider the cost of winning. Does triumphing in the argument strengthen your relationship, or does it create resentment? Does it resolve the issue, or does it leave lingering frustration? Marcus Aurelius insightfully observed, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it?" Often the aftermath of an argument is more damaging than the initial conflict. Letting go of the need to win doesn't mean surrendering your values or agreeing with something you oppose. It means shifting your focus from dominating the conversation to engaging in it meaningfully. Picture an argument as a fire. Ego-driven responses like sarcasm, defensiveness, or blame act as fuel, intensifying the flames. In contrast, stepping back, pausing and letting the fire die down can eventually extinguish it. Practicing humility helps release the compulsion to win. This doesn't mean undervaluing yourself, but acknowledging that your perspective isn't the only valid one. During a dispute, ask yourself, could I be missing something? What can I learn from the other person's viewpoint? This fosters curiosity and empathy, key elements for resolving conflicts. A simple yet effective tactic is saying, "You might be right." These 4 words don't signal defeat, but show a willingness to consider the other person's perspective. This phrase can disarm tension and encourage a more cooperative dialogue. You're not conceding to avoid conflict. You're demonstrating that you value the other person's input, which often prompts them to reciprocate. Also, consider the long-term impact of the argument. Weeks, months, or even years from now, will this disagreement matter? Often the answer is no. Realizing this can free you from unnecessary battles, emphasizing that preserving the relationship is usually more important than winning the debate. Accepting unresolved disagreements is also part of letting go. Not every conflict requires a perfect resolution. Sometimes, agreeing to disagree while maintaining mutual respect is the best outcome. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, including recognizing that we can't always change someone else's thinking. During your next argument, reflect on this. Is proving your point worth the strain on the relationship? Is the argument contributing to your growth, or is it merely feeding your ego? These questions can help you shift your focus from victory to understanding, from conflict to connection. By choosing understanding over winning, you create opportunities for compromise. Thoughtfully approached, arguments can foster deeper understanding and personal growth. When you consciously opt to listen, reflect, and value the relationship above the need to be right, you pave the way for stronger connections and healthier communication. Remember, the greatest victories are those that strengthen the relationships that matter most. Thank you for joining us to explore these 5 powerful strategies for staying calm during arguments. We hope these techniques help you manage your emotions and approach conflicts with renewed clarity and control. Remember, arguments don't have to be combative. You have the power to choose your responses, and in that lies your true strength. By mastering your emotions, practicing active listening, and shifting your mindset, you'll not only improve how you handle disagreements, but also become more centered and resilient in everyday life. It's all about turning challenges into opportunities for growth. Thanks again for watching. If you found these tips helpful, please like and subscribe for more content that empowers you to take control of your emotions and your life. Stay calm, stay strong, and we'll see you in the next video.